What's up, self-healers? Lisa Lightfeather here. Welcome to my channel, Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and your spiritual journey. Today, I want to speak on the topic of what does it mean to be chosen? So this word chosen is really becoming a household word, the word chosen. But what does it mean to be chosen? Yes? And so chosen, people who are considered chosen ones in history have lived their entire lives being of service to the community, right? So who are some of the people who have been of service their entire lives? They've even given their lives. They've even transitioned. They've given up their life for other people to be of service to them. These people are not becoming rich for this, or they're not doing it to be famous, or they're not doing it to be liked. As a matter of fact, they are very much so unliked. Yeah. Some examples of people who have been considered chosen, people like you and me, are Dr. Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela, Buddha, and even Jesus, right? These people have been considered chosen. They have been considered people who have sacrificed everything to include their lives in order to be of service to people, or they have been incarcerated, or they have been assassinated, things like that. So there's many others who have been of service like this. People like Mother Teresa, who have spent their entire lives being of service to other people. So in everyday life, in our lives, every day, we have people that are chosen. Yes? And there's normally people that are chosen. There's normally one in each family. There's normally one who is considered a chosen being in each family. Now, these people normally are referred to as the black sheep. They're usually the outcasts of the family. They're usually the ones that are rejected in the family. Now, the entire family can come from a background. They can come from any type of background. Like, okay, so for example, a family who has plenty of money and things of that sort, there's still one that's like rejected. Where the other one, they're going to ballet school and they're the golden child and they get all the attention and they're the ones that they have their own battles, they have their own pressure. They're the ones that have to be perfect, and they're the ones that everybody's banking on being successful. The chosen one is the one that is the scapegoat of the family. They're the ones that take the brunt of the family's darkness. When the family doesn't, the things that they hate about themselves, the chosen one takes on the family's shadows. Yes. So the chosen one, they go through several things as a child. I mean, tremendous darkness, tremendous trauma. A lot of times this child is the one that can see the shadow people. So it's not just people in the physical that attack the chosen. It's people on the things from the spirit realm, entities from the spirit realm that attack the chosen as well, because they know that the chosen is born with an eye to see. They know that the chosen has a mission. And so these entities will come for the chosen. The chosen's own family can sometimes be their worst enemies. When the chosen are children, they go through things like being bullied at school, the teacher picking on them, the teacher saying things like, "You're stupid, you're not smart. When is your mother going to comb your hair? Why do you have on that dirty dress?" They will find anything to make the chosen child feel less than. So when people say someone is chosen, it's not because they are something special, that something good is happening to them, or that they are better than anyone else. They are chosen to go through the trials and tribulations of this life. And here in this 3D realm, in this earth school, they learn all the darkness before the age of 7. A lot of times the chosen are molested. They're raped. They're abused. They're abandoned. They're the ones that the brothers and sisters pick on. They're the ones that get left behind. They're the ones that the mother and father cast their shadows on, because everything that's in that child is everything that they're not. And so they cast their darkness on that child, talking down to the child. You're never going to be anything, or you're just like your father. Or if you didn't wear those little shorts, you wouldn't have been molested. As if a child could outrun a full-grown predator. But it's because the child had on the shorts. So anyways, it's just they usually come from a toxic, sick background where they have been exposed to drug addicts, or may have even been exposed to drugs themselves. They have been exposed to being sold as a child. A lot of times the chosen have experienced near-death experiences. You will see scars on their body that represent these near-death experiences. They have been scarred mentally, physically, emotionally, sexually, financially, spiritually. Any type of abuse that could be used against a chosen one has been done. A lot of times, the chosen one, their own mother, is their worst enemy, because she can see when no one else can see. She can see that this child is different, that this child has come back for something. The chosen one chooses their parents. They choose their course because they choose the path before they even reincarnate back into the earth. Now, I don't want to offend anybody, and I don't want anybody to get upset and say, oh, it's the child's fault that they were molested or they were hurt because they chose it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they chose a path. Now, the people that come in on this path, they chose their path. They had their assignments. And it's hard for even me to digest that someone would choose such a course, but they've come back for a reason. These people are chosen for a reason. They are not excited about the path. They're usually very reluctant. They're very reluctant to come back to this earth realm. I remember fighting when my mother was in labor. I remember resisting. Like I would rather stay in her toxic womb than go out there, because I remember knowing what was waiting on me. Now, shortly after, I forgot what I had signed up for, because that's what happens with the chosen. We forget. We don't know that things are going to happen. We don't know that they are. But what makes the chosen different is that we go through these things and we learn to self-heal ourselves. We may go through depression and things of that sort that we have to pull ourselves out of that. The chosen will go through the dark night of the soul over and over and over and over again. They transform themselves, literally transform themselves over and over and over and over again. You think you know them. You think you have them figured out. And like a phoenix from the ashes, they come back something completely different. It's like you never knew them at all, because their mission continues. And they get redirected on their path. They get redirected. And there's nothing that they can do about it. It's in the contract. But we don't remember that it's in the contract. We just know when it's time to pivot. People will get attached to the chosen, not because they like them. As a matter of fact, it's more like they love to hate them. But they will get attached to them and expect certain things from them, expect them to move a certain way. But the chosen are unique. They are not like the collective. You will never catch a chosen in a clique. You'll never catch them in a group, or what we refer to today as a tribe. We don't tribe up. We walk alone. We blaze a trail. We might go hang out with the tribe for a minute, kind of manifest some stuff, be creative, have fun, because at the end of the day, we are human beings. But to click up with the tribe and be with that tribe, and these are my people, and this, when they move, I move. I didn't even do that when I was in the military. I had my battle buddies back, and I hoped that they had mine. But even in the military, I was outcasted. I was put on the side. I was the last to be chosen. Elementary school, high school, all of it. The chosen are drastically abused. The reason is they have to be strong mentally, physically, spiritually. They have to be solid. Because what they've come back to do, not many can do. Near-death experiences are something that the chosen experience. It's something that they experience. They will have groups of people come against them for little or nothing. They would just come against them and throw energy, like warlocks and witches and cliques and people that are just a bunch of people who aren't chosen, but they don't belong, so they click together and they don't belong together, which is like, ew. But anyways, they don't know who they are as an individual, so they click together. You have the narcissist, and the narcissist will have flying monkeys. The flying monkey isn't even getting paid to be a flying monkey. They just need to be needed so badly. And the narcissist welcomes them. So the narcissist sees the chosen. And deep down, the narcissist wants to be that, because after all of the trauma that the chosen has gone through, they are still empathetic. They still have a heart. They still have the capacity to love. They have the capacity to be of service. Most chosen will die being of service to someone else, not even to themselves. Now, there comes a time on the chosen's journey where, as they evolve, they have to become selfish. They have to put themselves first, because they have to learn the hard way that in putting everything and everyone else ahead of them, that it siphons their energy. It takes away their gifts. It takes away everything that they have to offer. And if they don't have anything to offer, then how are they going to be of service? They can't. Because they can get mentally, physically, and spiritually ill. So they come, as the chosen goes along their path, they start to remember that, hey, I have to put myself first. Because without this vessel, without this mental capacity, without the heart to love, I cannot be of service. The chosen are not of service for likes. They're not of service for subscribes, although your subscriptions are very appreciated, and so are your likes and your comments. We are of service because we want to assist you on your journey. We want to assist you in realizing what's happening on your journey. The reason the relationship doesn't work It's because they were just there for a second to teach you a lesson. This is the trick to that if you don't learn the lesson, you'll see the relationship again. It'll be a different body. It'll be a different face, but it'll be the same spirit. And the chosen will have to go through that over and over and over again until they see it. Wait a minute. This is a different person. This is a different body. This is a different face. But I remember this energy. And the chosen have to get to the point where they trust their instincts, because they will hope that this time it's different. And as long as they are hoping that this time it's different, they will have to go through another test, another trial, another tribulation. The chosen must learn to trust their instincts. When spirit says stop, you have to listen, no matter where your heart is. Because the heart wants to stay. The heart wants to go. The heart wants to try again. The heart doesn't want to give up. And in walking away from something or someone, it feels like giving up. But once you mature in your spiritual body and you mature in your spiritual journey, walking away will feel like freedom. It will feel like inner peace. Because you're listening to your higher self. You're listening to your spirit. Learn to trust yourself. You've been through everything. And you are probably still going to go through some more. The good news story is it gets easier. Because you remember, oh, I've been here before. This too shall pass. The chosen literally walks through the valley of death. And by the time they get midway through, they fear no evil. They've done it all. They've seen it all. Yeah. The chosen will have an ego death over and over and over again. They tend to attract, like we said, narcissists, energy vampires. They tend to attract people that are jealous of them, and the people don't even know why they're jealous of them. They attract people who want to mimic them, people who want to be them. They attract takers, people who don't want to give for their gifts. They don't want to give. They just want to take. And the people that are mimicking them or wanting to be like them or take from them, they have no clue who or what they're toying with. Because the chosen, although they have the capacity to be just as dark as they are light, they know the karmic debt that's attached to that. So that's something that only happens when it really, really has to. So the chosen will take it, and they will take it, and they will take it, and they will take it. But one thing I know for sure is that the chosen is protected. The chosen can be out somewhere or they get ready to leave the house and something happens where they can't leave. It happened to me the other day. I was getting ready to leave the house. My purse was on the counter and I was just about to walk out the door and I accidentally hit my purse. It wasn't zipped up and everything fell out on the floor and I had to stay and pick everything up and put it back in my purse. So it delayed me for a minute. It frustrated me for a minute because I was on my way out the door. I was ready to go. I got up the street and around the corner, there was a young man laying in the middle of the street and a woman was standing over him, giving him CPR. His motorcycle was shattered to pieces. A van was knocked up on the side of the ramp there. He didn't make it. Because of who I am, I know me, I would have been the one to get out. I would have been the one giving him CPR. And if that man hadn't have made it, I would have had to recover from that. Because although I know we all have our assignment, we've all signed up for the day and time that we're going to leave. The fact that it would have been me trying to save him would have threw me into a tailspin. I would have had to recover from that. So Spirit knew that I was already going through my own things. I'm already in the midst of my own transition, I'm in transition. And so that in itself requires a lot of energy from the chosen. It requires a lot of their time. It requires a lot of rest. You'll see the chosen, they'll get out there and they'll work nonstop. And then all of a sudden you'll see them resting. They're sleeping, they're resting. Not because the chosen is lazy, but because they know that the orders are going to come down. The next assignment is going to come. And when that assignment comes, it's boots on ground, head and eyes straight forward, on the front lines. So when it's time to rest, as the chosen, please rest. Do the things you love, the things you enjoy. Take time for yourself. Be selfish during that time. Love on yourself. Be creative. Do the things that you love to do. Try new things. But take your time. When you're in that transition, do not rush it. Take your time. Rest in your own healing. Because the assignment is coming. And when it comes, you got to be ready. Right? So being the chosen is not all it's cracked up to be. People say, oh, you think you're chosen. That means that you think you're better, that you think you're special. No, it just means that we know we have an assignment. We know that we'll do the stuff that 90% of people won't do. We know that. And we don't need your approval. We don't need you to say, you don't do that. We don't need you. We don't care what anybody has to say. It makes no difference what anybody else's opinion is. When you're chosen, you know it. And because we don't thrive on anyone's approval, it doesn't matter whether they're feeling that or not. Now, when the chosen is young and immature, and I'm not talking young in age, I'm talking young in spirit and immature, and they start off and they want to be recognized and they want to be seen and they want to be heard and they want to be acknowledged, and hey, what about me? They have to go through that stage because at the end of the day, they're human. But as you evolve, this has nothing to do with age. It has nothing to do with age. My grandson is 7. And he is one of the most intuitive people that I know. This has nothing to do with age. A lot of you are chosen and you're beyond your parents. You're beyond your grandparents. So it has nothing to do with age. But maturity comes, spiritual maturity comes as you defeat battles, as you defeat gang stalking, as you defeat narcissism, as you defeat jealousy, as you defeat these things and these people, as you defeat these battles, you grow, you pass these tests, you transform. At first you're reluctant, you fight it, you resist it, you're tested over and over and over again. Finally, you go into a transformation and you come out the other side being of service. You'll do this over and over again. But trust me when I tell you that it gets easier. You've come back for it. You have what it takes. So chosen, stand firm, stand strong. When it's time to rest, don't feel bad. Don't feel any type of way. Rest in your healing. Be selfish about it. Take time for you. Well, that's all I have for you today. Here on Closing the Gap, we make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and your spiritual journey. We want to see you win. Yes? Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. And if you're really feeling my vibe, don't forget to ring the bell notification so that you know when I upload. We'll see you next time.